In a distant corner of the galaxy, on an asteroid colony known as Outpost 9, humanity's castaways lived under the shadow of neglect. The outpost was a dumping ground for outdated technology, broken ships, and forgotten dreams. It wasn't glamorous, but it was home to a ragtag group of engineers, scavengers, and dreamers who refused to let their circumstances define them. The leader of this motley crew was Marcus, a man with grease-streaked hands and eyes that burned brighter than any star. He had once been part of Earth's elite fleet designers, but after a corporate scandal he didn't even believe in, he found himself exiled here. Alongside him were his closest allies, Nia, a brilliant coder whose mind worked faster than most computers, Theo, a grizzled mechanic who could fix anything from a toaster to a fusion reactor, and Rhea, a strategist whose plans were as intricate as they were daring. One day, a massive shipment arrived at Outpost 9, a hulking container filled with what looked like scrap metal, useless parts, and remnants of failed projects. A note attached read, "Dispose of accordingly." It was clear no one back on Earth cared about these scraps, or the people stuck on the outpost. But where others saw junk, Marcus saw potential. "This is it," Marcus said, pacing around the pile of discarded materials. "This is our chance." Nia raised an eyebrow. "You're telling me we can turn this heap into something useful?" "Not just useful," Marcus replied, his voice brimming with conviction. "Deadly." The idea seemed absurd, but absurdity was all they knew out here. They began by sorting through the wreckage, cataloging every piece, and brainstorming how each component might fit into their grand design. There was an old ion engine core, rusted but still functional. Panels from decommissioned fighter drones, riddled with bullet holes but salvageable. Even chunks of alien alloys, left behind after some long-forgotten trade deal gone sour. As weeks turned into months, the project consumed them entirely. They worked tirelessly, fueled by hope and the stubborn refusal to be written off as insignificant. In the dim glow of welding torches and the hum of repurposing machines, the shape of their creation began to emerge, a sleek, menacing vessel unlike anything seen before. They called it Asterisk, the Revenant Asterisk. Its hull shimmered with layers of adaptive camouflage, capable of blending into space itself. Inside, its systems ran on algorithms so advanced that Nia joked she might have accidentally created artificial intelligence. The weapons array was a masterpiece of ingenuity, combining human innovation with alien tech in ways no one would ever expect. But building Asterisk, the Revenant Asterisk, wasn't just about crafting a warship. It was about proving a point. Humanity had abandoned them, dismissed them as irrelevant, yet here they were, turning trash into triumph. Their first real test came sooner than expected. One evening, while running diagnostics on Asterisk, the Revenant Asterisk, Rhea intercepted a distress signal. A nearby mining station was under attack by raiders, pirates who preyed on vulnerable outposts like theirs. Normally, such news would be met with resignation. Outpost 9 couldn't afford to send help, and Earth wouldn't bother, but now they had options. "We go," Marcus declared without hesitation. "If we don't, then what's the point of all this?" Theo tightened the last bolt on Asterisk, the Revenant's Asterisk cockpit console. "Hope you're ready to see if your brainchild flies." With a mix of excitement and dread, the team boarded Asterisk, the Revenant Asterisk. As the ship roared to life, its engines lighting up the darkness, they felt a surge of pride. This was more than a machine, it was a symbol of defiance. When they reached the mining station, the scene was chaotic. Raiders swarmed the facility, their ships firing indiscriminately. The miners cowered inside, helpless against the onslaught. Without wasting a moment, Marcus activated Asterisk, the Revenant's Asterisk stealth mode, making the ship invisible to enemy sensors. Then, with precision strikes, they disabled the raiders' vessels one by one. To the pirates, it must have seemed like ghosts were attacking them. Ships exploded mid-flight, their systems fried by EMP bursts. Others were torn apart by plasma cannons that appeared out of nowhere. Panic spread among the raiders until finally they fled, leaving behind only debris and silence. The miners emerged cautiously, staring in awe at Asterisk, the Revenant Asterisk as it decloaked above them. Word spread quickly across the sector. Outpost 9, once considered a forgotten relic, now possessed the deadliest warship in existence. Back at the outpost, celebrations erupted. For the first time in years, the colonists felt a sense of pride and fearlessness. But Marcus knew their journey was far from over. Earth's governments would hear of Asterisk, the Revenant Asterisk, and when they did, they wouldn't take kindly to being outshone by their own rejects. Sure enough, emissaries arrived within weeks, bearing offers of pardons and positions of power in exchange for control of Asterisk, the Revenant Asterisk. Marcus listened politely, then declined. "We built this ship because we had nothing," he told them. "And now that we have something, we're not giving it away." Earth's response was predictable: hostility. Fleets were dispatched to reclaim Asterisk, the Revenant Asterisk, by force. But Marcus and his team were prepared. Using their knowledge of Earth's tactics and Asterisk, the Revenant's Asterisk unparalleled capabilities, they dismantled wave after wave of attackers. Yet victory came at a cost. Battles scared the ship, and losses weighed heavily on the crew. Still, they persevered, driven by the belief that they represented more than themselves. They stood for everyone who had ever been overlooked, underestimated, or cast aside. Eventually, Earth relented, not because they accepted defeat, but because they realized Asterisk, the Revenant Asterisk, was untouchable. Instead, they offered recognition, declaring Outpost 9 an independent entity free to chart its own course. It was a hollow gesture, but it marked a turning point. Years later, Asterisk, the Revenant Asterisk, became legend. Stories of its exploits inspired countless colonies to rise up against oppression. And though Marcus and his team aged, their legacy endured. They had taken society's refuse and forged it into something extraordinary, a reminder that greatness isn't born from privilege, but from perseverance. Outpost 9 remained humble yet proud. After all, they had proven that even in the vastness of the universe, those deemed insignificant could shine the brightest.